All right, guys, welcome back to the GSMC Hockey Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We are taking a look into the IIHF tournament. I did this with this Wednesday podcast because I wanted to talk about the pool play and the preliminary games before bracket play starts, as we have wrapped up the preliminary games and now we have our bracket. So, two groups in the IIHF tournament, of course. IIHF stands for International Ice Hockey Federation. This is the tournament that hosts all of the top teams. This is the biggest international tournament in hockey, excluding the Olympics. So, who did very well? Well, in Group A, you have, of course, Canada finishing first. They only lost... they did not lose a game. They won 5 games in regulation and only 2 were in overtime. They did not lose a single game, beating everybody else in their pool. Switzerland was the second team in Group A. They lost only 1 game in regulation. That was to Canada. And then the Czech Republic was the third team here. They lost 2 games in overtime, not 1 in regulation. They were one of the overtime losses, or they were one of the teams that pushed Canada to overtime. Then Finland is the final team to qualify out of Group A, meaning Canada, Switzerland, Czech Republic, and Finland are the 4 teams to advance out of Group A. And the 4 teams to have been eliminated were Austria, Norway, Denmark, and of course Great Britain, who is historically the worst team in international hockey. Over on Group B, the second group, of course, this is a 16-team tournament. We whittle it down to 8 teams for the bracket play, so that's why the top 4 move on. The bottom 4 are eliminated. Number 1 in Group B. It was not USA, it was Sweden who got the top seed in Group B. They played very well against USA. They won every single game in regulation, not even something Canada did. They went 7 for 7 in regulation games in this tournament. USA finished second, 5-0-1-1 was their record, losing 1 game in overtime and losing 1 to Sweden in regulation. Germany was the other team, Germany and Slovakia were the 2 other teams to qualify. Germany having 15 points, Slovakia having 12. That means Latvia, Kazakhstan, France, and Poland have been eliminated. Latvia, unfortunate, one of the home countries being eliminated. But Czechia, the other home country, did get to move on in this one. So, this means Canada plays Slovakia, Switzerland plays Germany, United States play Czechia, Sweden plays Finland, and that is a absolutely exciting one. Sweden versus Finland. Whenever those guys play each other in hockey, it is always extremely entertaining. Historically, it has always been extremely entertaining. Of course, none of these teams played in pool play because you play from the other bracket, but on the top side you have Canada and Switzerland, and Slovakia and Germany. Canada, Switzerland from A, Slovakia, Germany from B. Canada and Switzerland are definitely the favorites, but Germany can definitely come out of this 4-team kind of playoff in the top here, as Germany has Tim Stützle, who is a fantastic NHL player on that team. But Switzerland, having Roman Josi, I believe, is playing for Switzerland, and a bunch of other guys that are NHL players. Of course, also Canada has an entire NHL roster, so they can definitely move on. They are definitely the favorites. That's why I'm joking. United States, Czechia. America is, of course, the favorite in that one. And then Sweden, Finland. Sweden, of course, is the favorite in that one. As the tournament has progressed, the players that hold the top 3 spots in the points category are all from the top line of America. It's Matt Boldy, the Minnesota Wild winger, Brady Tkachuk, the Ottawa Senators center, and Johnny Gaudreau, the Columbus Blue Jackets winger, is the top three. 14, 13, and 11, respectively, are their points total. Coming in at fourth is Roman Josi, the defenseman from the Nashville Predators. Dylan Cousins is fifth from Canada. Kevin Fiala and Nico Hischier, also representing Switzerland, are 6th and 7th. You can kind of see why this team did so well in pool play. But Erik Karlsson, Andre Burakovsky, and Roman Cervenka finish out the top 10 of points totals. Some notable names that are a little bit more that show up a little bit more down is JJ Peterka for Germany. Marcus Johansson for Sweden has had a pretty good tournament. Cole Caulfield and Shane Pinto for America has been playing very well. John Tavares on Canada is playing very well. He joined when, of course, the Toronto Maple Leafs went out of the playoffs. Zach Werenski is in the top 30. Juraj Slavkovsky is proving that he can be a professional player for Slovakia, as he's kind of him and Martin Pospisil are kind of carrying that Slovakia team. Them and Libor Hudacek. So that is who are the scoring leaders, the players with the most goals. Dylan Cousins with 8 in 7 games played. Brady Tkachuk 7 in 7 games played. Kevin Fiala 6 in only 5 games played, as he joined late because of the NHL playoffs. Oliver Kapanen has been Finland's top goal scorer. Sweden's top goal scorer has been Joel Eriksson Ek, the Minnesota Wild, former first round pick. Slovakia, it's Libor Hudacek. Germany, it's JJ Peterka. Latvia was Kaspars Dogavins. I believe I pronounced that right. And Austria's was Peter Schneider. So those were kind of the most notable names when it came to the skaters. And the best goaltenders throughout the tournament has been Slovakia's Samuel... I'm not even going to try at this name. It's spelled Hlavaj. I don't even know how to even start. Samuel Hlavaj, I believe, is how you pronounce that. It's not an NHLer, so I haven't had any pronunciation guide for that guy at all. Some other notable goaltenders that are playing this. It's Philip Gustafsson for Sweden has been pretty good throughout this tournament. He has a 1.50 goals against average. Him and Samuel Ersson, who is at a 1.00, is Sweden's goaltender tandem. So them both are playing very well. Lucas Dostal is the Anaheim Ducks backup goaltender, if I'm not mistaken. He plays for Czechia at a 1.92 goals against average. Jordan Binnington is the Canadian goaltender. He is at a 2.97 goals against average. Philip Grubauer, the German goaltender, at a 3.21. I'm not seeing the American goaltender, who that's weird. Now I'm wondering why I did not see him on the list. Now I'll do a little bit of research on the fly here for you guys. Charlie Lindgren, the Washington Capitals goaltender, is the one that is playing for Team USA. I wonder why he didn't show up. Maybe it was because he hasn't played in enough ones. So the goaltending has been very good. This is why Sweden has been so good, is their goaltending has been amazing. They've had the tandem of Samuel Ersson and Philip Gustafsson for them that have played very well. And Czechia, how they have, I was made sure that was correct. Lucas Dostal does play for Anaheim. That's why Czechia really has been doing as well as they have is his 192 goals against average is spectacular for them. So that'll wrap it up for our IIHF talk. I, of course, have Canada winning it, but Sweden does look very scary with their 7-0-0-0 record in the preliminary play. So I will give you guys another update when we get to the when we get through the bracket, when we see the gold medal and bronze medal games start to be played. And with that, we're going to take our fourth break. When I come back, we'll talk about previewing the Oilers and the Stars matchup.